The modern Kazakh culture in the global world is not just the title of one of the programs launched as part of the modernization of Kazakhstan's identity. The initiative aims to present the best works of our culture in literature, theater, cinema, classical and traditional music and fine arts at the world's notable venues. Moscow, the capital of Russia, is one of the world's best cities for arts and culture, and it's not an easy task to amaze the local audience. This spring, the visitors of the All-Russian Museum of Decorative, Applied and Folk Art have an opportunity to see a unique exhibition dedicated to the antiquities and works of art that were created 2,500 years ago. The exhibition is presented abroad for the first time. 235 museum items arrived in Moscow. The unpacking process is currently underway in this hall. The environment is like in an operating room. It's necessary to wear special clothing. The Legacy of the Great Steppe, Masterpieces of Jewelry's art exhibition, is one of the stages of the Golden Man Procession through the museums of the world's international tour, organized by the Ministry of Culture and Sports of Kazakhstan and the National Museum.
Так, уважаемые господа, уважаемые коллеги, мы очень приятно.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, we are very pleased to be in the heart of Russia, in the city of Moscow. Let's proceed to the most interesting part. We open the box and show the items. I am ready to accept the artifacts.
По списку 33.
According to the list number 33, the quantity of the item is 1. Plates of geometric shapes, the original headgear decorations. It dates back to the 5th to 4th centuries BC. 90 out of more than 200 exhibit items brought to the exhibition are original items. The museum employee is holding the finest gold plates that are older than the city in which we are in now for about 1,500 years. It is important to comply with all the procedures of handling artifacts. Russian museum workers receive cultural properties of exceptional importance from Kazakhstan.
Здесь вот в данном случае, вот в данной коллекции, вот.
We will exhibit the Golden Man, or Zolotoy Человек in Russian. It is a warrior's costume. We cannot say that these objects are more valuable than others. In any case, they appear all equal in terms of museological value. We are proud that these exhibits belong to the funds of the National Museum of Kazakhstan.
Экспонаты хранятся в фондах Национального музея Республики Казахстан.
The history of exhibits brought to the Moscow exhibition is included in the encyclopedia. Many artifacts are pictured on the national and state symbols and became the country's cultural symbol. The Golden Man, the famous warrior's costume found half a century ago in the Almaty region in the Issyk Mountain, is located in the center of the exposition. This golden attire once became a sensation. A young prince in gold vestments conquered the world 2,500 years ago. More than 4,000 gold objects found helped archaeologists to learn how a man lived in the Saka era. Information about people's worldview, beliefs and skills are learned from these outlandish birds and animals, unique decorations, utensils and weapons. Scientists are still amazed to find the inscription on the silver cup written by the ancient jeweler. This is the fact that the distant ancestors of modern Kazakhs were able to express their thoughts in writing. Now we have a chance to see without the camera filter how the unique exhibits will be placed under the glass window on display. We will walk through the building that will become a temporary place for the distinguished guests.
Попадая под своды этого музея, мы перемещаемся в конец 18
When we come to the museum, we'll travel to the end of the 18th century. Here we are welcomed by Deputy Director of All-Russian Museum of Decorative, Applied and Folk Art, Alexander Bogatyrov.
На самом деле музей не такой уж старый.
The museum did not have a long history. It was founded in 1981, but the history of the estate is quite interesting. This house belonged to the Streshnev family since the 17th century and occupied a huge territory, including a park. We have several service departments, children's center and fashion and design center. Now we are going to the main building where the Count Osterman lived in the late 18th century. According to legends, he still walks here. I mean, the ghost of Count Osterman is walking here.
По преданиям до сих пор здесь гуляет призрак графа Остермана. Здесь собирались.
The gala dinners that are held here were attended by the rich and famous Moscow residents. Although right now we are in the center of the city, this house was a distant settlement at the end of the 18th, early 19th centuries. After Count Osterman and his heir died, representatives of the clergy owned the state. The Moscow seminary was located here until 1918.
В период Великого переворота и революции
The church organizations were no longer relevant during the Great Revolution period. The delegates from different regions gathered here. Subsequently, the Council of Ministers of the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic was located here after the Second World War. The building was once again reconstructed. The three-storied building was constructed, where the Golden Man exhibition is held. Now we walk in the building built in the middle of the 20th century. This is the grand staircase. The ministers and the presidium of the Council of Ministers of the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic walked down these stairs.
поднимались министры и президиум Совета министров РСФСР.
The staircase has a long history. Now the first visitors of the heritage of the Great Steppe, masterpieces of jewelry art exhibition are walking down these stairs in 2018. The press conference with the participation of prominent cultural figures from Kazakhstan and Russia was held prior to the opening of the exhibition. The cultural event is bringing the countries together. Our countries are united by a common civilization, common political and economic interests. But most importantly, we are like brothers. We know, appreciate and love the culture of each other. Of course, this exhibition will help strengthen our friendly ties and make them even closer. Ambassador of Kazakhstan to Russia, Imangali Tasmagambetov, welcomed honorary guests who came to the event dedicated to the world of ancient Saka tribes. The ambassador is a passionate connoisseur of his native history. His speech about the exhibits aroused great interest.
Мы действительно увидели сегодня шедевры. Шедевры не только выдающегося мастерства.
Today we see real masterpieces. The works of outstanding creativity revealed the history of Kazakhstan and Kazakh people. I think that it's very important for each nation to know their past and to understand their history. There are always important milestones in this history. The Golden Man is a very important milestone for the Kazakh people, for their history and for their ethnogenesis.
Для понимания их истории, для их этногенеза.
Now the museum officially opens its doors for visitors. The path to the Saka treasures is crossed by a red ribbon. The honor of cutting the red ribbon is given to Doctor of Historical Sciences Zainola Samashev, successor of Kazakh archaeologists of the last century. While the public is studying the exhibits, the scientist reveals the secrets of the mounds.
Әрбір элементінің өзі бір үлкен жатқан бір тылсым әңгіме. Мына құстың образын аламыз ба, немесе қанатты аттың образын аламыз ба?
Each element has its own mysterious story. The bird, flying horse, and the tree of life called Baitarek are united by the philosophy of the Saka people, our ancestors. And the fact that our ancestors created the rich and advanced culture makes us proud of them. We can proudly say that we are their heirs.
Озық мәдениет жасаған ата-бабаларымыздың біз мұрагеріміз деген сондай бір біздің мерейімізді көтеретін бір сондай дәрежеге жетіп отырмыз қай жерде болса да.
Anatoly Kantorovich, famous Russian scientist and head of archaeology department of Lomonosov Moscow State University, is among the exhibition's first visitors. He studied the Scythian era and compares the nomadic cultures that once resided at the lower reaches of the Danube River to Lake Baikal in China, including the Saka tribes that created the Issyk necropolis in his works. The exhibition is an excellent opportunity to learn more for students studying archaeology.
Стараюсь их привести сюда сам и, может быть, их поводить по выставке, потому что это действительно шедевры.
I will tell my students to visit this exhibition, and maybe I can come with them too to see these amazing masterpieces again. These antiquities were found across the whole country. The golden and silver items will be interesting for visitors. These are splendid pieces of Taryutic work and jewelry mastery. It's really interesting to know how people lived in completely different times, how they created unique cultural space. What is the world of nomads? What was it like? How did people live there? What were they doing? What kind of works did they create? There's a rare inscription written in some local language. It's considered to be the only one piece of art left from the entire Scythian Siberian world. We do not know for sure. Maybe it is inscribed in Saki language. The words are written on a silver bowl from Issyk. We haven't found any inscriptions throughout the entire Scythian Siberian world from the Danube River to China.
Серебряная чаша из Иссыка. Потому что другой пока по всему сибирскому миру, от Дуная до Китая, мы не видим надписи.
The museum halls are decorated in other style to support the idea of another culture that is significantly different from other exhibitions in the Moscow Museum. Dark color prevails and showcases are beautifully illuminated. The walls are covered with ancient ornamentation and the floor's coverings are everywhere. The relevant atmosphere is created for the steppe treasure exhibits. The collection of Kazakh silver jewelry aroused a great interest among the audience.
бұйымдар 18-19 ғасырға тән бұйымдарды алып келдік. Өңір жиектер, құдағы жүзіктер.
We brought jewelry dated back to the 18th-19th centuries. These are necklaces, rings, bracelets, and belts. The rings belonging to the mother of the son-in-law attracted special interest among the people. They are large and cover all 5 fingers, so people are surprised to see these rings.
Өлшемі бойынша өте үлкен, ол 5 саусақтың да бетін жауып тұратын жүзіктер. Не деген жүзіктер деген сияқты халық таң қалуда мысалы, соған.
Kazakh jewelry art could be a fashion trend as it already has followers.
Это родовое украшение, которое содержит слово «род», дерево. И все это...
This is a family jewelry with personalized tree representing the family. Once I went to the antique store in Almaty and saw a men's belt with silver buckle. It was incredible. I must admit I was there for 3 days, but I did not buy it. I wish I bought it. It's a great honor to have such a belt for every man and for every warrior.
Пожалел, что все-таки не приобрел, не привез. Иметь такой пояс, который я видел, для каждого мужчины, для каждого воина, это большая честь.
Well-known film director Timur Bekmambetov came to the exhibition for inspiration.
Мы все фотографисты в неоплатном долгу, мы никак не можем про Золотого воина снять фильм.
As directors, we should make a film about the Golden Warrior. I hope that the situation will change after having met all the scientists who organized the exhibition. This film probably will be very important for Kazakhstan.
Это камень с горы, и он прокатится. Такой фильм все-таки, наверное, был очень важен для Казахстана.
The workers of the All-Russian Museum of Decorative, Applied and Folk Art noted the high interest of the local public. The exhibition has undoubtedly become the event of the season.
Великолепные образцы ювелирных украшений.
The gorgeous examples of jewelry from the archaeological treasure were discovered at the end of 1960 in Kazakhstan. Its uniqueness and significance probably can be compared with the tomb of Tutankhamun.
И сохранность сравнима только с, наверное, гробницей Тутанхамона. Но для нас, живущих на Евразийском полуострове,
These artifacts are special for us because we have interest in all cultures living on the Eurasian Peninsula. They are unique objects from the historical, archaeological, scientific point of view. These absolutely stunning jewelry are presented at the exhibition.
Этот клад – это особенное сокровище, и кроме того, что это очень важно исторически, археологически, научно, это еще прекрасные ювелирные художественные украшения.
Cultural attaché of Azerbaijan was also among the exhibition's first guests. Baku is the next destination for the Golden Man Procession through the Museums of the World International Tour.
Мы очень много слышали об этих украшениях, мы слышали о золотом человеке, но увидеть его воочию, ощутить эту красоту.
We heard a lot about these jewelry items and the Golden Man. I was so impressed to see it with my own eyes. I am fascinated by a warrior's costume. He is a Kazakh knight in beautiful attire. I once again want to congratulate my colleagues from Kazakhstan. As an art historian, I understand the uniqueness of this artistic phenomenon.
Казахстана, поскольку я сама искусствовед и в полной мере ощущаю уникальность этого художественного явления и выразить свою радость по поводу того, что, начав свое шествие...
I'm delighted that the exhibition will tour to Baku after Moscow. We are waiting for the exhibition in Baku. I guess our people will be pleased to visit such a wonderful exhibition.
Много удовольствия и интереса бакинскому зрителю.
В настоящее время на территории Казахстана...
At present, the burials of 8 golden people have been found on the territory of Kazakhstan, but the golden men from the Issyk Mountain became the national symbol. The exhibition will run for more than a month in Moscow and then continue its tours to the world's museums.